Hello, here's a video in which I, Nick, will show you an overview of my Lego Bionicle MOC Predu, I think his name will be. I'm not sure. Maybe his name will be Predu, maybe not. It's just the first I could came up with. But enough about the name. 2 seconds. We are now going to talk about the MOC. So here's the MOC itself, and just to start with, have you ever had these times that you thought you had actually used really all of your usable parts in your part collection? That time that you think there is nothing cool or awesome I can create anymore. Well, I had that time when I was creating this. I felt like I've used everything that is that has the capability of being built into a great MOC. But I need to get new parts, or it just ends here and I've just created everything. So I thought I'd just keep on with my old MOCs and just build with them and see what I can do with them to make them better. But from my leftover parts, like I call them, I made this leftover MOC, and from just my own personal opinion, he is not all that bad. He's actually pretty good. So this is Predu. He is a Toa fire, and he wears the Kanoe mask of speed, the Nuva version of it. It is the Kakama, if just a guess, I think it was the Kakama. And in its Nuva version is just an immense speed. And his weapon is also speed. He uses speed to attack his enemies. His fighting style also needing these things here includes that he overheats his weapons here. Just these, I don't know what you would call them, these rip thingies. Well, for him it are just needles or blades or something like that. At first he overheats these things, then he runs with an immense speed, particularly because he's very fast himself, and particularly, well, mostly because of his mask of speed. He charges at his opponent, and then this thing is just fast, pointy, and warm enough to get even through Makuta armor. And getting through Makuta armor, that is something only a few Toa can tell they can do it. But he's also got a tail, and his tail is there to keep him in balance when he's running. It is just like some animals use their tail to keep balance. He also does that. That is the reason why he's got a tail and he's Toa. So I gave him a lot of black, but that is just because he's a leftover build character. Otherwise you will just have another color scheme, maybe some lighter colors, more bright colors, but now he's just dark red and black. I mean, he still looks cool with that color scheme. It only wouldn't be my first choice, but I think now that I look at him, maybe black is the best choice. So from his legs look a little bit like they're just all random and don't fit together. I changed the light something. I'm using a new setup right now. This is the first time I'm using this setup. Instead of the lights at the back, I now use them at the front. So this is a little bit dark, it looks like, but it's actually not that dark here. But I just can't get the light right. Maybe this is something better. Look, these are his legs, and they look all random and not fitting together, but actually they are made for each other. Look to this. This perfectly fits in with the parts that are on there. If you do it like so, this just perfectly takes shape. And this here is actually based onto the Glatorian feet of the I mean Skrull and Forox. Not Strak, but Skrull and Forox. They use these things on their feet and one of their foot separately to hold their life counters. I used these Metro chest plates just as decoration, and it looks like he's got the same armor style as these two, but now it is real armor and not a holder for a life counter. I really can't seem to get it right, no? I'm trying everything, it just doesn't work out. It looks better, but this ain't do that like. This is just not working out in any way. But there's good light right now. And this also perfectly fits. Because of this little stopper here, this little technic beam here, that goes into this beam, you won't be pushing out this part. It doesn't even touch it anymore. If there wouldn't be a stop here, then this will be shoved. This will be pushed out every time you move his knee too far down. But now you don't have that trouble. Then the upper legs are just this way, particularly because it makes them bulky and it perfectly fits with the lower legs, and it takes perfect shape with the rest of the body, but also because I didn't have any more of these long upper leg and upper arm pieces. But I think this looks even better than if I had actuated pieces. I mean, this one is just created out of leftover pieces. He looks like that, but he still looks great, and that is something I really appreciate about this MOC. When we go to the torso, and it's actually also started with the torso, like most of my MOCs. I first create the torso, and whenever I create a good torso, I'll be able to create the rest. I mean, the torso is some kind of the signature piece of a character. If you don't get a right torso, you don't actually, get a right figure at all. Unless you want two figures to have the same torso, so you can see they are friends or brothers or whatever of each other, so you see they are part of the same line of MOCs. So it looks like he's wearing some shorts here because of the black here. I think that looks like a nice color scheme, right? So then he's got this Vaki lower leg and this Toa Mari, Jeller's, or the Hana Crab armor, Jeller's chest armor or the Hana Crab armor. It's used as both of them. Then his tail is just a normal tail used by Mantax, and here his neck is actually the only Hero Factory piece used in this MOC, but it is so basic I don't even call this a Hero Factory piece. I just call this a late developed Bionicle piece. A Bionicle piece that came too late into existence. But it is actually the only Hero Factory piece used in this MOC, aside from the hands. And it also gives him a little bit too much of grey. I only wanted the head to be grey, but it doesn't matter me all that much. Basically because the mask always covers it. and if he looks up, it is not that big of trouble. I mean, the head is also grey, so they fit together. And in most poses and angles, he still looks fine. Then the shoulder armor are these claws first used by Mata Nui, and they perfectly fit into place at this spot in the armor. They are held onto the place by this Borg shell, which also perfectly fits with the shape of these little technic angle parts sticking out. This also sticks out, so they fit together, and these won't go too much up because they're stopped by the angle parts. And as you can see, he uses the mask of speed, the Kakama Nuva, and that is the one you can obtain in the mask packs, the collectible mask packs. It's a variant color of one that is normally always brown. Then we go to the arms, and the arms aren't that much covered. They actually only use back covering, but that is just like Grash from the Matoran series. He also only used it on the back of his upper arms, because then he will be able to bend his elbow fully in. And I also wanted that with this one, and particularly because I didn't have small armor pieces to add on here. But no, that is just what a leftover MOC is all about. You don't have the parts, and so you need to create the best out of what you've got. And if that still looks good, you've done the right thing, and I really think I've done the right thing. Then we go to the forearms, and the forearms are these dark red Metro lower legs, and I really got just too much Metro and Hortica pieces, so that's why I use them so often in my MOCs. But that doesn't really bother me, because these lower legs of them are really useful. I mean, they're just the most basic style of small forearm or lower leg, so they are really useful. Then we go to this little technique piece, which attaches this ripcord of the Rotuka spinners, which he uses as weapons to overheat them and to attack. And then we go to the hands, which are black Eurofactory hands, and that is because they are less, well, they just don't break. Whatever you try, they don't break, and the other ones break after you put them on twice. And the black ones of these are rare, only available in Stringer, and Stringer ones uses the worst version, with just an extra gape or part taken out of there, so it wouldn't have any friction for holding weapons. That was just horrible. That is even more horrible than the first ones introduced with the first Clitorian sets. And for leftover parts, well, actually everything was a leftover part. Everything was just left for MOCing out of my parts collection, which didn't have a lot of parts anymore, except of one of the hands, which I took from Roca, but I could order one. And maybe this piece also wasn't really left for MOCing. It was already used somewhere else, but I could also order one of these. And this, and this little T-beam. And there goes my shell. So where is my shell right now? I can't find my shell anymore because it shut up. Well, okay. There's a little T-beam in black. I actually have none of them in any color available for MOCing, but I am going to order one for sure of these and two of these for sure. So these are actually also leftover pieces. Only the hand and this piece aren't really leftover pieces, but that doesn't really matter because you know, every MOC needs some time and work to collect pieces, even if it is a leftover MOC. So and you know, I got one of these hands for free from MOC making. I just didn't have a pair, and that is just because the Hero Factory sets these days don't more often include pair of hands. Mostly it is one hand and one place where there's supposed to be a hand, but there isn't really a hand. And because of that, it is really horrible to make MOCs easy. But aside from that, I mean, he's aside from that, what was I talking about? He looks, I don't know anymore what I was going to say. But aside from that, the MOC still looks okay, and I'm really happy and pleased with it. I mean, I'd rather have my parts spent into this than being in a place full of parts which aren't used. And I'm trying to find that shell I just lost, but I cannot find it just now. So that means this is the end of the overview, and thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon with more MOCs, and I'm trying to get a better setup and better lights and better camera. But until that, you have to do with this quality, but my quality will improve like I promised. And all of my MOCs will be seen back, which you have seen previously, but totally revamped. Some of them have just had a few little changes. Some of them have completely changed, but they all still use the same concept as they used years ago. So these will all be seen back, and I will be reviewing them as soon as I have done my order. I will also wait with my Slizer MOCs because they also need parts for my order. But until I have done my order, I will just say please subscribe. I will just ask please subscribe, because the more subscribers I got, the more easy it will be to improve, you know. The more easy it will be to grow on YouTube, the more easy it will be to grow on quality of the videos. So if you like my videos, please subscribe to check back on all of them. And then I'll just say thanks for watching and bye. I'll be here soon again. Just one final note. I mean, I was going to tell you about this. Just a little quick view. For the color scheme on the back, you can see that it is totally black. I forgot to mention because I lost the shell. But the back covering is all black, and then on the bottom it's you can see more dark gray. On top it is totally black. Dark gray, I mean dark red. When you go down you see some more dark red, and it's the opposite on the front. Here you can see on the top a lot of dark red, and when you go down you can see more black, and the head is black. So that was a nice touch I could do. So really, aside from that, bye. Bye.